Okie dokie. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, ladies, we about to get started in a minute. And I'm going to do this warfare call that I wanted to do during the warfare week, but we've been rocking and rolling in this group, and I've been adding a bunch of extra bonus stuff weeks so we can kind of lay a little bit more foundation before we get into our live book studies. Hold on. All right, we're going to start in a minute. I'm going to give some of you all a little minute to come in, just in case y'all have forgot the phone number or y'all are not somewhere where y'all, readily wrote it down, or, y'all are realizing that we're not doing the live. So we'll get started in a minute. We'll get started in a minute. All right, how y'all doing, ladies? How y'all doing? And we still will have our, of course, dynamic discussion, but that'll be, of course, on alchemy, taking nothing and making something, which will be on Thursday. And then the week after, we're going to take a break so everybody can kind of get caught up with all of the classes. There's books, things that we posted. A lot of us got busy lives. We can't always listen to all of the classes. We can't always read the books or various parts or just certain chapters of the book. So we're going to break next week, give us a time to kind of refresh, and then when we come back, we're going to get it in with the. So I thought we would have probably been finished in August, but I added the alchemy in the warfare week. So we'll probably be finished in September, right before October, because it'll take us a month to get through the two books that I have for us to do. But it doesn't matter. Next week we will break. Y'all use that to get caught up, to re-listen to stuff if you need to re-listen, because a lot of you all assume entirely too much. And you are thinking you're hearing what I'm saying, but I can tell by the questions you're not hearing what I'm saying. You're hearing what you want to hear. So we are going to get that situated. Hold on. Okay. We're getting ready to get started in a minute. Okay, let's talk. For these folks. Okay. All right, anyway. Okay, so let's talk about warfare. And y'all can post certain things in the group. I can watch it if y'all are posting. Okay, ladies, let's talk about warfare, because I think, and I went through this myself, hence, but I think because we have a somewhat Christian or Islamic or just a religious view of what warfare is, and we just really have not actually studied it, or being in serious warfare, we really don't know what we're talking about. We don't. And when things start hitting us, we don't know sometimes whether it's an attack from people in our circle. We don't know if it's in a bloodline attack, ancestral patterns of fighting to keep you in the ancestral curse. We don't know if it's an external attack coming from someone outside that doesn't like you. We don't know if it's a bloodline-based attack, which racism would be considered and poverty would be considered. Bloodlines that have your wealth, of course, don't want your ass to have it or to get it back. We just don't know. We don't know. And a lot of us don't know what I just had a conversation, what I just said, that there's different types. We are just clueless. We're clueless about a whole bunch of stuff. And some of that is our own fault because we don't take time to study anything. Again, we love assuming or in some type of way believing that our ideas or our concepts of certain things are true, and they must be true. That there's not other forms of quote unquote truth. And because of that, we do what, ladies? We stay what? To sacrifice. we stay to sacrifice. We end up fighting battles that had nothing to do with us. We expend a lot of energy and resources and time conjuring up battles, conjuring up disagreements that are not there. You just want to be in damn warfare. You just want something to go wrong so you can say, well, this is the problem. I'm not really the problem. And in that case, that would be you fighting yourself. So, ladies, the topic of warfare is an extended one. It's an extended one, and it's one of the reasons why I've taught on it extensively through the years, because it's so many different ways of winning, and warfare is connected to revenge. It's connected to restitution. You got to know what you're fighting. You got to know what you're fighting. If you do not know what you're fighting, you cannot call in revenge. And you're damn sure not going to get any restitution. You don't know what you are fighting. You don't know. And in not knowing what you're fighting, you don't know or who you're fighting. You don't know how that what or who fights. You don't know. You don't know. Ladies, warfare is a lot deeper than what you are assuming. You can feel it because you know some energy's off. You take 2 steps forward and you go back. Things just keep happening wrong. There's a streak of bad luck. Somebody told you in your family that there's certain bloodline curses or people that went and did roots and all types of magic against your family or whatever. Or you can tell it. You could tell it. But again, you don't know. You can feel it. You can sense it. But again, you don't know. You don't know. And again, if you don't know, then you don't know how that person fights. And I can honor my father in this arena, because had he not forced me to watch, I think her name is, I can't remember her name now, the Murder, She Wrote woman. Is it Jessica Lansbury? Had he not forced me to watch, I wouldn't have the discerning mind that I have. My quote-unquote cautiousness is not a cautiousness based in fear. It's a cautiousness based in inquisitive nature, because my father taught me that. He pushed that in me more than my other 2 daughters. And sometimes, again, that inquisitive nature is based out of fear. You always think something is a scam. You think something is not going to work or that it's wrong in some type of way. But I don't have that mindset. I have the mindset of a very healthy air element. If I'm inquisitive, if I'm looking at things, a double take, it's because I'm sensing something. It has nothing to do with fear, nothing to do with me going to be hurt or any of that other stuff. I'm a damn detective, and I'll be asking questions. And you can't be a detective with an assuming mindset, an arrogant mindset, because you think you know every damn thing. You don't sit and listen. You always got to damn prove to other people what you know. I don't have that. I don't have that problem. Because I learned a long time ago, it don't matter how smart I am or how much I know. Somebody always knows more. It is just what it is. It is what it is. So I need some damn information. And that's how I'm always got my damn spotty senses on, because I need to know if what you telling me is glamour. And if it's glamour, I need to know what are you really damn hiding and how I can get access to it, if I want access to it. But I'm always thinking about something. My daughters even say that, Ma, you always just thinking the worst. They don't understand it. It's not thinking the worst. I know human behavior. I've studied it for years. I know human behavior. It's not the worst. If the human acts like they got some sense, to me that's a damn good day. But I'm always, prepared for them to act like they are flawed, and it's not a problem. Like I said, it's just what I know. This is what you are, and I'm not lying to myself about your shadow that you're showing me in this mask that you got on. Because I got my mask on, too, because I'm not going to tell you a damn thing until I know you. Then I may share. But, no, I'm not going to tell your ass the truth either, because I don't know your ass just yet. So, again, it's not negative. It's just a healthy suspicion. It's a healthy suspicion. Because I don't. And I say all that to say this. Because I don't want to ever be in the position of warfare that I have been in, where I believe stuff that wasn't true. I believe what I wanted based on what I wanted to hear and what I wanted to feel, how I wanted to be rescued. I gave everybody the benefit of the doubt. I was so naive. I just trusted, because I wouldn't mistreat people, that they wouldn't mistreat me either, because I had good intentions. They had good intentions too. That when they said they wanted to be married and settle down and have a family and go to church, that's what they really meant. No, that nigga didn't mean none of it. They didn't mean none of it. That was something that was a goal. That was a lofty goal. That was something he may have wanted, but he didn't want it to the point of it becoming his life, becoming his duty. No, it was fantasy. You wanted the fantasy of a happy family and marriage and all the trappings of patriarchy, but you didn't want to do the work for it, so they tell me your ass really didn't damn want it. It didn't become a duty. It was just a fleeting one. And that's what I believed. That's what I believed. And I believed it, ladies, to my detriment. Oh, to my detriment. To the detriment of me birthing out of season, losing jobs because I didn't have babysitters, getting fired, messing up my credit, getting cars repossessed. Hold on one second. Let them in. Not having money to take care of basic things, oh my gosh, ladies, not having money for pads, like wearing the same panties, the 7 pair of panties that I had, having to continue to wash them and wash them and wash them. Because I trusted something. I believed in a friend because I went somewhere because someone told me I should go. I went to this school. I went after this job because I trusted someone. And again, them jobs don't produce anything but minimum wage, so you can't put, raise a family on it. You end up having to get on food stamps and all this. Ladies, no, I trusted. And I didn't know that those people, I'll never forget my damn counselor, who was a black woman, who sent me on the wrong damn path of education. I'll never forget it. I wanted to be a respiratory therapist. The first time I had ever saw a black woman with some serious power and clout was a respiratory therapist. She came in to help my daughter when she had what they called the croups, and she couldn't breathe, and she almost died. And, I was going through it then at that time, too. Her father wasn't even there. But I was in that emergency room by myself, and my mother wasn't there, and they wanted to send my daughter home. And I knew something was wrong because she kept gasping for breath. And, again, at that time I had the messed up state insurance, so they didn't care. Ladies. Just welfare and insurance, they didn't care about me. They didn't care. And it was a white male, bald head, that said no while they were trying to give me the discharge papers to get me in and out of the emergency room. It was a white, bald head doctor that came in there and said, no, I want to check her breathing again. This was a different doctor than what I had. They checked her breathing one more time, and that doctor said, no, I'm not going to chance that. And they admitted us when we was about to get discharged. And they called in this black woman, and she came down there with natural hair flowing. I'll never forget it. I was in my early 20s. I'll never forget it. And a white coat, and she had all those different pins, like Kalisha, be showing us about these pretty pins that she be finding and brooches and stuff from time to time. And all of these pins were connected to awards that she won, and some of them now that I know they were sigils because she was a part of the Eastern Star and some of the other stuff. I remember the sigils she had on. She was part of whatever sorority or secret society she was in. But I remember when she came off that damn elevator, because my room was across, and I remember how it was like damn Red Sea. Everybody that was around, when she stepped off that elevator, they all parted for her to go through. And I didn't know who she was because at that time I had never seen a black woman that was a boss. Like in your early 20s, you don't see that, especially in the South. So my mind and my mouth just dropped open because I'd never seen it. And she came in that room and she nursed my daughter, and I just was staring at her. I was staring at her, and I was looking at how other people reacted to her. Because at first I was thinking, well, maybe she's a doctor. She knows something. What's going on? Like how did this black woman get up to this rank? Because she wasn't a basic, because she had all of these award things around and on her little coat. So she wasn't a basic, and she was the only one that had it in that hospital. And I saw people moving out of her way and getting what she was asking people to get. So when my mouth came up off the damn floor, I asked her, what do you do? And she said, I'm a respiratory therapist. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I knew it. And she was very nice. She took care of my daughter for the next 2 to 3 days, and she started talking to me, and I started asking her questions. How did she get involved? She asked me what my plans for life was. I was a single mother. And I could tell her looking at me. I could tell because she was a dark mother. She would never have been one of those mothers that would hold my hand or I could cry or coddle on. I could tell she overcame a lot to get that. I could tell because she kept saying, stay with it. Whatever you want to do, stay with it. She kept throwing nuggets, so I knew that she struggled to get what she had. I knew it. But I could tell that, her thoughts of me were iffy, like this is another black woman with a baby. She's not going to make it. But at the same time, as a black woman, you wanting another black woman to win. Like, I could tell it because that's how I feel now. I could tell it. But that's what I wanted to be because I saw her. And I went on that path. And I was going through a nursing program to get there. And another black woman, I never forget that my counselor told me that it would take me too long to get my respiratory therapist certification, and that I was a single mother, and that my baby needed to eat right now. So I needed to go ahead and do something right now that would get me some money coming in and help me, and I'll be able to buy me a car and stuff like that, and then I could go back to school for respiratory therapy. And she was a black woman. I believed her because, of course, as a single mother, you do need the money right then. You do. And this is before I ended up going to school for real estate and all this other stuff. So, this path still detoured me on the right path. But again, that's what she told me, and I believed her. And I didn't find out until later that basically I was in a CNA program, that it was a CNA program that was pushed by the state, that they needed more CNAs, and that, again, the state knew what they were doing. They wanted us to work at nursing homes and clean up people and all that other stuff, and gave us a little bit above minimum wage to keep us there. But they knew good time well that once you typically got to making money and you got in a CNA position, that was a lower position, and that because you had to pay money to pay bills, that you were going to be stuck there. The state knew, and she knew. She knew. She lied to me on purpose to fulfill her quota as a technical state-issued school. She needed to fill the state requirements. See, I didn't learn all of that until later. A white woman told me the game. So she purposely derailed me, ladies. She purposely derailed me for her check. For her check. And again, the warfare that ensued, because I went in nursing as a CNA. I ended up working for hospice, which is also, helped me to become stronger in necromancy. So again, I had to go that way. I understand it, but I still could have went that way as respiratory therapist. No, I took years, and I never became a respiratory therapist. I went from the CNA to saying I was not going to be a CNA. It just wasn't worth all of getting the scabies and getting the stuff and having to deal with all the people that don't respect CNAs. Again, it was so stressful. And again, you get caught in that working class trap. You get to working to paying bills and trying to come out. Baby daddy apologizes, thinking we getting ready to get back together, and you find out that don't damn work. See, so again, making choices that put me under a whole lot of more stress. But I ended up going back to school, of course. But then it wasn't for that. It was for business. I was led again to go into business if I didn't want to be, but go into medical business or medical management, and that's what I did. And I ended up having two majors, going into medical management and then going into business. And again, by that time I was so done with the medical field, hospice, all of the rules and regulations and the BS, I said I was just going to go toward business. So I ended up getting, again, my job at that time as the warranty specialist or an office manager for that real estate company, and the rest is history. But I never went back for what I truly wanted to do, what I truly wanted to help heal people in the air element. I heal people now differently because I'm a teacher. I'm still in the air element. But my passion was always respiratory therapy. It was always respiratory medicine. It was always respiratory medicine. And that's probably why I like, smoking my cigars. But nonetheless, she purposely lied. She purposely lied to fill her quota. Looked at my face, looked at my face and looked at all the other black women's faces and purposely sent us down there. Purposely. So again, you're not knowing what type of warfare, not knowing how the warfare is set up to attack you, not having any form of strategy. You don't know. You just simply don't know. You just simply don't know. Unfortunately, that is not an excuse. It is not an excuse. And I ended up learning that the hard way, because that honey, again, it taught me a lot about the body. It still came out in my favor, but I went through a lot. I went through a lot going that way. It was just a hot mess. It was a hot ass mess. Going back to school, I ended up meeting my second child's father, because by that time I was completely done. I was stressed out too damn much, and he couldn't help me, my first child's father. And I was in my celibacy journey and I had a girlfriend, a black female, whose son used to get his hair cut at the barbershop. We went one time, picked me up from school, went and got lunch, stopped by the barbershop, met my second child's father, and a hot-ass mess ensued after, even after that. I came out of my celibacy dated his ass. He's the one that said he wanted all this stuff. I'm thinking my girlfriend hooked me up. No. And she knew what he was the whole time. She never warned me. Never. Oh, well, he got some, that's what we tell each other. He got some money, he owns his own, barbershop, girl. He drives this nice Cadillac, girl. A lot of girls want him, he wants you. No, honey, I was listening to her, and of course she ends up divorced. And when I see her months later, she tells me all this stuff that she should have told me about him in the beginning. When I tell her, girl, no, I done been through all this. I don't even want to date him no more, but it's 6 months in, and now I'm damn pregnant. Still early 20s, just ignorant and dumb about, life, ovulation, having a period and all this other stuff. And then she said, girl, you better, told me to go get an abortion at that time. I didn't. Again, believing the lies of Christianity. So, again, but then she decides to tell me, girl, no, I wouldn't have his babies now. Then she starts to tell me about all this other stuff that he's involved with, all the other clubs he's part owner of and visits and does all this other stuff. Honey, no, he wasn't ready to settle down at all. He may have wanted it. He knew he wanted me, and that's what I required. But then when it came, women say that all the time, but when it came time for him to put up and shut up, and he saw that I really wasn't playing, that I wanted to settle down, then he decides that he can't do it. But see, I'm pregnant by that time. So, no. And she knew. This is my friend. She knew. Didn't tell me anything. No, I knew what she wanted to. She wanted me to get off. She was in an unhappy marriage. I'm thinking she was in a happy marriage at that time. Mad because she's a mother of two. She got to be responsible. And I am a mother of one, but I got a good support system at that time. I can go and come as I please. No, she was jealous of all. She was jealous of my freedom subconsciously. She was, and I don't think she did it maliciously. See, that's something else too. It ain't even about if somebody does it maliciously or not. The truth is they set you up by not giving you information, or telling you stuff after the fact. So I don't even think she did it maliciously, but subconsciously she did not like me. She did not like the freedom I had. She didn't like my I don't care about niggas attitude. No, I'm not trying to get married. She was lamenting that she was not me. She was lamenting that she married early, had 2 children, and apparently was unhappy. She was lamenting that, and subconsciously set me up for the downfall. That's what she did. Ladies, and again, simply, ladies, I just didn't know. I didn't know how women fight. I didn't know that there was this battle between the wife and the whore. Ladies, I had no idea. I had no idea. And a lot of you all don't have any idea. You're assuming. You're doing a lot of assuming. And you can't win like that. You can't have an effective strategy when you don't know who you're fighting and you don't know how they fight. You can't. What I love about the season that we're in is that a bunch of people's motives are being uncovered. Like, we're seeing that women are setting up men to get killed. We're seeing that women are sitting there listening to other girls get raped and not say anything. We're seeing that women are killing their own damn kids, blaming it on men. We're seeing that men ain't the only ones crazy. And see, I've been telling y'all that. I never bought they BS after I came into witchcraft. I've been ringing that the truth veil about black women since my ass hit live on damn YouTube almost 10 years ago. I've been calling black women to task since then because I know they full of it. I know they're liars. I know that they are behind a lot of this foolishness that's going on with these men. I know it. Watch this movie, Judge Dredd. Huh? See who is ruling the castle, ladies. See who is sanctioning the men to rape, ladies. The word mafia starts with the word ma. It starts with the damn word. See, now this is shit I get pissed off because I'm sick of the glamour around women. I'm sick of the pedestal that y'all have put these hoes on. Now, I may honor the principle, but that's all. That's all I'm honoring. No, not until they show me something different. These hoes out here is treacherous. And they will set you up, and they will cover their sons. Did you see the damn crazy-ass white woman on the damn TED Talks trying to slick absolve her son for the damn Columbine? No. See, the mothers of the kids that was killed by her son, they need to do something with her ass. She on TED Talks sitting up here trying to absolve in a slick fashion what her son did. Oh, no, it's a bunch of them, and they in all colors. It's women sanctioning this genitalia removal, this clitoral genitalia mutilation, ladies. They asses are not brainwashed. They see those girls crying. What mother is going to sit there and watch her child cry? They ain't even babies when this going. No, they ain't brainwashed, ladies. Come out of that. They purposely doing it. They're purposely doing it. They're attacking their own bloodline. They're attacking the maiden because of their own messed up foolishness, their own idea of competition. The men ain't brainwashed their asses. And the sooner y'all accept that, y'all going to be fine. I never forget I posted this video years ago in the Lilith group, my group that's all about the female archetypes in all forms. When we finish dynamics, if y'all aren't in that group, y'all may want to join that group because that group is an ongoing. I will never close it. Eventually, feminine dynamics will close. And we talk about everything. It's just a fully well-rounded feminine energy group because it wears the goddess Lilith on it. So I posted it in there to see what the girls was going to say. And it's of a Moorish sister, and she giving Moorish information. And she is, kind of correcting one of the damn Hotep niggas that is always in some mess. But I posted it because of certain things that she said, and I'm going to post it here too. And I was waiting for the girls to pick up something. They didn't pick it up, though. And I'm going to post it here, and I'm going to see if y'all can pick it up. Y'all might do. Y'all might pick it up better than they did in the Lilith group. But I didn't say nothing because I was waiting on them to pick it up. But y'all going to, y'all are going to continue to allow a tremendous amount of warfare in your life if you don't start checking this feminine principle. Because what it does, ladies, the mother wound, what it does. Sometimes it's about what the mother did, and sometimes it's about what the mother didn't do. That mother wound, again, whether it's malicious or not, some of us have good relationships with our mothers. They still just were liars, and they kept lots of stuff away. They didn't say a lot of damn things. Some of them still coddled our brothers a little bit too damn much, and coddled our fathers a little too damn much. But nonetheless, you're going to have to answer some serious questions about the nature of the warfare that you're in, because it's coming from a feminine or it's coming from a masculine. It could be coming from both. Sometimes it's coming from an androgynous, because the court system is ruled by an androgynous spirit. That's an androgynous spirit ruling that. But nonetheless, ladies, if you don't know what, who, and how that energy fights, then you cannot, counter it with a productive strategy. You can't. You just can't. You can even see this if you have eyes to see in how the sports games are set up. A lot of the players are watching tapes and tapes and tapes. A lot of the coaches, boxing, it doesn't matter, so that they can study how other people play, how whoever they're in competition with, the opponent, how they play, so that they can perform or come up together with a counter strategy. But that's not what y'all do. That's not what black women do. That's not what we do. We think we're going to call on a god or goddess and light a damn candle, and that's going to be it. Or we're going to call on Jesus and pray, and that's going to be it. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Energy must be neutralized, and then it must be sent back. And that's why you got to become the dynamic of the witch, what we talked about earlier in our time together. Because only a witch can turn this stuff that's going on. If you're going to turn it, just like I had to learn how to turn it myself, I had to become a witch. That meant I had to discern energy. I had to put off the personality. Take this from our class tonight. You got to put off the personality, ladies. Don't get caught up in the shell. Don't get caught up in what it looked like. I don't care if it's your mama. In the personality, the energy behind that person, the energy behind your mother is foreign. It's an anti-you. So it doesn't matter about the damn personality. You got to deal with that energy inside. Like I said, it don't matter if it's with malicious intent or not. The point of the matter is that energy is opposed to you. If you're going to learn warfare, you're going to have to grow up. You're going to have to stop with the damn little kid games, the little maiden, this person did this, hurt my feelings, and all this other foolishness. You're going to have to stop that. You have to stop looking at judging things by what it looked like. You're going to have to stop looking at stuff based on what you think is going on. No, you're going to have to see what it is. This is why I tell y'all asses to stay the hell out of them damn marches and every damn thing else, because if you don't know what energy is leading it, stay the hell out of it. Stay out of it. Stay out of it. So when you are thinking again about warfare, take this from the class, and y'all can press star 1 if y'all want to say anything. 1, ladies, you got to discern who and what you're fighting. You got to discern. If you got to get a reading for it, do it. If you got to do some divination, if you got to do some type of dream magic, if you got to just simply sit still and ask Spirit what's going on, then that's what you would just have to do. 1, again, discern who or what you are fighting. 2, study that person's or that thing's strategy. Study the way that thing moves, the way it feeds, the way it sleeps, the way it drinks, what it eats. Study its fighting, study its patterns. And 3, and this is the final thing, you do the opposite. You do the opposite. you go on a counter strike. You go on a counter strike so that you can neutralize it. You meet it where it is. Again, if it's dark, you got to be dark, but you just move differently. And again, that depends on who and what you're fighting, and to what that person's or what that thing's or entity's strategy is. If it's dark, you got to match it dark, but you got to do the counter. You got to do the opposite. Perfect point. I'll just give you this example. Press star 1 if y'all have any questions. If not, we're going to be done for tonight. If what you're fighting is an entity that feeds, guess what? You starve. You fast. You match it in darkness with the same fervor, the same intention that, no, you will not win. Your ass will lose before I will. You got to match it with darkness. But if it is something that is fighting you because it is feeding off of you and you're feeling drained, then that means, ladies, it's feeding off of you. You're energetically strong. You're energetically fat. So what you do is you stop eating. You're going to fast. That's why I stay fasting. I stay fasting. You got to go on a fast. You cannot give it something to eat. Or you got to, you could do this. This is advanced warfare, though. Start feeding yourself things that makes it sick. You learned this in Independence Day when they uploaded that virus into that spaceship. They had to upload that virus, honey. They gave it what it wanted, code, but they gave it a virus. They gave it a foreign code. But again, you can't even have a conversation 3 until you situated on 1 and 2. And I want to end with this. Ladies, warfare is warfare. If you are thinking that you are not going to get hit or take any hits, again, this is why you in it, because you're delusional and you believe in stuff that's not true, and you were led down a path that basically set you up. Warfare is warfare. There is no such thing as fixing a problem that is warfare-based and you do not get hit. You're going to get hit. That is what fighting is. That's what fighting is. Our thing is, as witches, we want to take as less hits as possible. But the very fact that you're in warfare means you've already been hit. So why are you thinking that you're not going to take any more hits is ignorant. And that proves to me that you do not know who you're fighting and you don't know how they're fighting. Get over the idea that you're not going to get hit. You're going to get hit. This is why on the darker side, black magic, those witches like me, we don't bring the fight. We don't want to take any hits. Well, we know what warfare is. However, if it's brought, then, of course, we got scorched the earth principles. You shouldn't even fuck with us. We don't start it, though. We stay far from it. We don't get in drama. We stay away from the negativity. We're very shrouded in secrecy because we don't want to take hits. We don't have time for the fighting. We don't have the time for the depression. We don't have the time for the worry, the stress, and anxiety that comes with, being with the wrong person. Just in warfare with the nigga that you're sleeping with. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. But if we got to, then we're all in. And we don't have any morals. Whoever gets hit, gets hit. We don't care who it is. But we don't start. We don't start. We don't start at all. As a matter of fact, we're peacemakers. You would not think that because you're glamored by what black magicians is, because of what damn Harry Potter and all these damn anti-witch shows that's attacking the dark mother. Like they getting ready to have this movie, The Nun, but I'm going to make sure that I support that because they trying to damn go after the priestess line propaganda. So I'm going to make sure that I spend some money in that damn movie to support the damn nuns. The dark ones, too. But, no. We're peacemakers because we don't like warfare, because we know that if we get in it, it's going to be worse. It's best that you had not even done anything. It's best Because once we're in, there's no pulling back. So we try to keep the peace. We're very peaceful people. People that work the dark arts, ladies, are very, very peaceful. These other women out here that's always in drama, always starting stuff, ladies, they don't represent black magic. You know what they represent? Messy, pettiness, low self-esteem, jealousy, all the darker emotions that they have not mastered. That they're little girls having temper tantrums, mad because somebody got a client of theirs or whatever they fussing about in the damn witchcraft group. Ladies, those are not mature witches. That's immature. Women that have power on the dark side and on the light side, we don't go to war unless we got to. Or unless we're opposing a bloodline that's against us, then, of course, we stay in warfare then. But, and that's what you see in Hollywood, all these crazy-ass people, secret societies, fighting each other now. But that's on them. But we don't. We're very peaceful people if we can be. If not, then it's just a wrap. But no, we don't go to the fight. We don't start the fight. We don't ignite the fight. We don't. We don't want to take any hit. All right, press *1. If y'all got any questions, let me go to see what's on there. If not, that's us for the warfare call, ladies. I'm going to post the last alchemy call for tomorrow on Wednesday, and then we'll have our Thursday call on alchemy, the dynamic discussion, and then we're going to rest next week. Everybody can get caught up because the week when we come back, we're going to get it in with these book studies. 337, your mic is open.
Hello, ladies. How are you? So just two things you talked about that was it just really hit home for me. One, when you talked about how that black woman, she told you one thing and it kind of just shifted. Granted, you got to where you need to be, but it took you, I guess, a while to get there, and it shifted the trajectory of you getting there. Case in point, I made a video on my page yesterday morning how I wanted to be a nurse practitioner since I was a kiddo. That was the dream. Besides being a heart surgeon was the real dream, And this white girl told me, well, if I'm not smart and couldn't pass the program, you can't do it. And it's just funny how that one statement, if you allow people to get in your head, will fuck you up. And for me, that statement held me like hostage or bondage at least 15 years. Even like now, I'm a nurse practitioner. I still have to tell that hole in my head to shut up. What are you talking about? I'm here. I made it. Second thing is how you talked about the mother relationship. I didn't realize until now that me being dark towards her actually kept me sane and safe, if that makes any sense, because she was a very dark woman. She just had a lot of issues going on, and I felt bad about, I'm not gonna say I wasn't nice to her. I was really nice to her, but I had to almost be cold so I can protect myself, if that makes any sense. And looking back at overall, looking back over my life, how that darkness of me just, I don't want to say even shut down, but having to just be, look, I'm not having this shit with you today. I'm not dealing with this, and not giving into the warm, fuzzy feeling of, well, she's my mom, and I have to be X, Y, and Z. I learned early on, as a teenager, I could not be led by those feelings because she would eat that up and she would use it. So I want to just say you just confirmed some things for me. So thank you. That's it.
You're welcome, Miss Lady. 702, your mic is open.
Greetings, ladies. How are you?
Hey, girl. How is your conference going?
It actually ended on Sunday, was my last day, so I've been resting and recovering ever since. And this call is so timely. Warfare is so timely. And you just gave me some insight in regard to I think for me, all of it was profound, but particularly the last portion where you said we don't start it, we don't bring it. But that doesn't mean we're going to avoid warfare. It's going to be there. We don't like to take the hits, but we don't start it because we know that if once we go there, we'll scorch the earth. And that was where I was the majority of the weekend in my conference with black women. With black women. White women and women of other races came to be elevated and empowered and uplifted. Black women came to fight their elevation.
I knew it was going to be some hot mess. I couldn't wait for you to tell.
To the point where I've gotten my attorneys involved, which is why I haven't posted anything yet. I'm getting ready to upload thousands of pictures and videos. And it was overall, 95% of it was beautiful. It was amazing. It was powerful. But the black women, black women, to the point where in my final day, my sister circle, I close and I'm always very transparent and I always take what happened the days before and we talk about that as a lesson in the healing circle. And I said to the black women in the circle, I know we're a mixed company. I'm not one of them people that feels like we don't air our dirty laundry. We need to fix this shit. Overall, Gia, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was like people are asking when is the next one. You and I, we can have a conversation. But this call was so timely about that warfare thing because I think for me what I recognized when you said different bloodlines, different stuff we didn't even know existed until, that was in existence in bloodlines before we incarnated here is still at play, right? And so you walk into something thinking, when you said your naivete with your black advisor, why would you set me up like that? You're my black advisor. I was in situations like that all weekend. Why would you not take advantage of this blessing and therefore create drama? Why would you walk away from the thing you said you wanted when the yes was here all weekend long, but you had to create drama? And what I recognized as you were talking was that very thing. That's a bloodline warfare that existed long before they ever even stepped into space. For me, it's learning to stay in my work, which I've been doing, although I've been absent from the group, stay in my work, stay in my daily ritual, check in when I can to, see the exercises and listen to stuff you're giving us, stay in my work. Because if I hadn't, I would be in jail this weekend. I'm not joking. That's how ignorant some of these nigglets got.
Wow.
So that's why I said in my post, thank you.
I kind of, we already know, it's sad to say, but we kind of know that eventually that's just how it is with us. It's unfortunate, but what you're saying don't surprise me, girl.
Yeah, it is unfortunate because we're in a time with all of what we're seeing happening that you're teaching about. We have the blessing of having you give us the dark vision behind what is happening to be able to see, what's happening in the spirit realm and the occult realm. Most people in general don't have a clue what's going on, but black women, the collective of black women, are fucking lost. And they want to be. I'm going to say this without saying no names. Y'all can go back and look at the pseudo-celebrity, the fucking worst.
I believe it. I believe it.
The worst. And so for me, in order to get my peace, I called my attorney, turned it over to them. I slept peacefully last night.
Unfortunately, I'm not surprised. 312, your mic, then I'm coming to 615. Anybody else, press *1.
Hey, ladies. Hey, Gia. I just wanted to say that warfare is such an alchemical experience. And if somebody thinks they have no power. Warfare is one of the experiences where you can learn just how powerful you are. And in that process, with the right guidance, you determine how powerful you want to be. I rewatched the video I did in the MAAMA group. And I think I'll do a post in this group as well, just since it's 2 years later, to share my thoughts and experiences looking back then, what I was going through, and now what I've learned. Being pushed into that grew me up, and having you by my side, of course, because I could not have done it alone, but it grew me up so much, and it forced me to enter into another level of myself, and it humbled me because it took your teachings to another level. It went from something I knew in my head and could conceptualize to something I felt in my being. And even my transition from the job, when you were speaking about one of the groups, how Caucasian women, they go after names, I understand that on a completely different level now. It's beyond attacking a person for what you think they have. No, I'm coming after legacy. I'm coming after reputation. And if I'm going to fight and win, you have to be committed, and you have to fully be in it. And it's incorporating all of the things you've talked about, detachment, so that there is no connection and link, and just really standing in being a God, because the only thing that stops a God is another God. And if what I wish people talked about more so was just what it takes out of you, and because it's a lot of false information, I think that's why Black women can be so anxious or so stressed to just, I wish a bitch would, and, quick to have that energy, because people aren't really talking about what it takes to fight and win.
True.
And as someone who's had death energy sent at me, and I've lived to tell about it, that alone will have you stopping resting bitch face, because it's an aggressive spirit that you're putting on. And when that energy is put out there, what are you met with? Because people match you according to what you are. And a lot of times we're false posturing. We're not that tough, and we really don't want these fights. And you're confused about where it comes from. Well, it's what you're putting out there. But because you don't know why you need to change it or why it's incorrect in the first place, you're set up inadequately and inaccurately from jump. So I'm just very grateful and humbled that you're still teaching and sharing, because warfare is not a game. It is not a joke. It is not something that is fun. It is a very expensive experience, and a lot of people don't live to tell about it. In one of the witches groups, I think you talked about it, but I remember that time. It was some up-and-coming young Black warlock, and he was boosted up and was believing he was more than what he was, until he fought somebody with some real power and lost. And after that, it was R.I.P.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. You
know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
That one guy I think it was a
mm-hmm.
group. Yeah, he was a young occultist.
Like in his 20s.
Yes, and he started that group, and
mm-hmm.
he opened up his witch group to a lot of different people, and people came in. And when you open up, of course, a free group to everybody, you get exactly what that is, every fucking thing free. So. Yep. Right, he had a difference of opinion with a practitioner that is similar to me in hoodoo. And they started being mean to each other, saying nasty things to each other. He started talking about in his group how he was going to do spells and bind this other male warlock and kicked him out of his group. His ass is dead.
Mm-hmm.
I remember talking. I remember.
And
yes.
And his
family, he died, I think it was in a car wreck, and his family, his sister, came in the group asking about this battle because it was out of the blue, it was mysterious. It made no sense as to how he died in that particular car wreck because it wasn't, quote unquote, supposed to be as bad. I mean, I think he got hit even on the opposite side of the car. Everyone in that group knew exactly who did it. Everybody in that group knew who did it. And I remember talking to y'all about that and telling y'all what? To stay the fuck out of warfare. If you're not ready, don't go up against these people.
What people don't know is that you do not control how someone attacks you.
No, you don't.
What you should be concerned about is why you got hit in the first place. Because with my incident, your protection was weak. And for that hit to land, although she didn't get her way, I was off. And when it went back
we had to get you stronger. We had to get you stronger.
Oh, yeah. And I had to play my part. I couldn't just rest on the root cleansing. I had to play my part, and I think people don't realize you got to get in this for real, and you have to be determined to win and to live. And I had made the choice how far I was willing to go, and there was no backing down. Where I was off, I wasn't discerning energy appropriately and standing in what was shown to me. So I own my responsibility, and you knew, and you turned a blind eye. That's my fault. That's another part. Some things you know. If you don't know, okay, you don't know, but some things you know. You can't be running up against people like that. People are into all type of stuff. And if you play it, they'll show you just what they're into. I was reading the bio of a professional that works for a securities firm. He's an Asian guy, or it could be a woman. I don't know. No, it's a guy. He's into Reiki. Now people will think, oh, that's energy work. You don't know how that person is using that. You don't pop off at the mouth at nobody that's a certified energy practitioner. No.
Oh, no, sweetie, no, because, see, they think that he's girl, I can talk forever. They think that he's on the good, that they assume. This is what we do. We assume that because someone has a pretty website page or has a beautiful angel or someone on there that, no, he's practicing light Reiki.
Thank you, ladies. I hope you all really take this to heart and let this information absorb into your being, because it is the difference between those of us that's here to talk about it and those of us who got people in groups trying to find out what happened. You choose your side.
It was funny to me, honey, because, I had already knew, honey. I just looking at, because somebody in hoodoo, in advanced hoodoo, we know another person. We know when someone is winning to the hoodoo of King Solomon, sweetie. We know who's a basic hoodoo that's still using herbs and who's using herbs and sigils and spirits and grids. We know a real hoodoo. We know it. And, honey, his dumb ass, I knew it. I just shook my head because he was fucking with the wrong one. I knew it. The guy was talking, putting spells in Hebrew. Like, you better back the fuck off from this guy. You don't know who you don't know who you are fucking with. You don't know. I remember it. I remember it. And this goes to the point of what I was saying about point 2. He didn't know how that man fought. He didn't know. He thought that all he had to do was fight the way he understood it, the way he studied. You don't know how someone else knows. You don't know what someone else knows. You don't know how someone else fights. You don't know how long they've been in it. You don't know. You don't start a battle when you are not sure in 1 and 2. And was the guy arrogant and wrong and disrespectful? Yes, but all you had to do was put him out your group. Your group had no business being free anyway, open, not a witchcraft group. But you didn't have to start talking about him and trying to show off, and then attacking and making verbal threats. You're going to make a verbal threat to an occultist? Are you serious? Are you serious? Like, you don't think that person is not going to see what you said as a threat and not protect themselves plus send something your way? You don't do that. You don't know. Again, you don't know who, and you don't know what they know. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Oh, no, honey. Ego is why his ass is dead. And we all knew it in the group. We all knew who did it. Oh, damn well. I bet he learned his damn lesson. Wherever his ass at now, in wherever his consciousness is in the next damn realm, I bet he won't do that shit again. Folks need to tell the truth about Jesus. Because Jesus was killing folks too now. When they was disrespecting him, this is in one of the damn books. I haven't forgotten the damn book because it's been forever since I damn read it. I don't know if it's the Seen Gospel piece, what in the hell the damn book is, but Jesus killed that boy for picking at his ass. Jesus don't play. Jesus didn't play. So these folks need to read about Jesus and how he killed that damn boy for picking and taunting him. He brought the boy back to life. He must have had damn, remorse or change of heart, or somebody told him, don't bring that damn boy back. But Jesus killed his ass, and you don't play. You don't know. And Jesus was an adept. You don't know. He wasn't in the mood that day. He didn't care nothing about that little boy. He killed his ass. 615, your mic.
Greetings. Wow, this is an amazing call. I'm listening to each woman speak, and it's really touching us on a personal level. I mean, you can just hear it in each other's voices. So for me, it is the same. Today would have been my mom's 60th birthday. So I'm in celebration of that. And I just didn't expect this call. I'm taking I can see myself. And in doing that, I have to take her off the pedestal and really see her. And that's not been easy because I lost her when I was a teen. And, as a child, and we had a good relationship, but that when you lose them at a young age, it was for me. It was for me. So, the first work that we began to do was the work to move that old energy off of me that I had carried for so long, because of my family and how they blew the money and all of that craziness. And it sat there for so long. I felt it. I didn't know how to move it. I didn't know what to do with it. I just knew it was keeping me behind. And I was just walking with it. I couldn't get rid of it. So I felt blessed to have met you and you being someone that could help me move it. And I really can't even access that experience the way that I did before. It just doesn't. There are parts that I have to work through myself, such as today is a different layer for me of removing it. But just the strong impact of how I carried it for so long, I can't even go there. And I'm thankful. Thank you. Thank you for moving that off of my bloodline and moving that off of me because it was so heavy. So what came up for me today is taking an honest look at my mom's efforts in putting the money out there and doing maybe what she thought was best with the resources and the knowledge that she had, but she honestly did not protect it correctly. And therefore, this is how it got mismanaged. It's an easy thing for me to accept. But I'm here. I'm here.
Yes, you are, ma'am.
Gosh. It's still layers.
Girl, I know it. Girl, I know.
It's still layers. Oh, my gosh, this work. This work is not easy, but it's worth it. It's going to take me to a different level. So thank you for that. And I know I'm getting stronger because I have moments where I can step outside myself, like we talked about in Gerald's game and that decode, and we talked about with, what is this, Robert Downey Jr., and it scares me a little bit. So I haven't fully allowed myself to go there because I'm just so amazed that I'm able to use my air element like that and be able to step outside myself and really see myself. It's a wild experience. So I look forward to really getting into it. It just happens all of a sudden, and I know I pushed through that barrier too. But thank you. Thank you for that acceptance. I don't have to keep looking at it at a love and light way. It is what it is. It is what it is, and it's a major lesson for me and any other woman that ever listens to this call. Protect your assets because you don't know how that is going to be a trickle effect later on. And get the knowledge and go get the knowledge and go get the knowledge and revise it if you need to because the laws change. And it could really impact your legacy. So that's what I got. Thank you so much.
You got it, Mr. Lady. You got it. Okie dokie. I think that is us. Let me see. Yeah, that's it. I don't see anybody else's hand up. Okie dokie, ladies. I'll upload this. And that's it. Good night. Good night.